Hi boys and girls, today I'm going to show you how to complete the Unit 5 practice test in case you would like to study before our test on Friday. So for number 1, we have to write the number in words. So remember, we're going to look at these in sections of 3. And we know we start with the hundreds, the thousands, the millions, and the billions. So I'm first going to start with this, read this, just this little section of a number, and it's just 7. And then billion. So I would write 7 billion. I'm going to write fast here, put my comma. Now I'm just looking at this 3-digit number right here. We would say 540, and then we put million. So 500, trying to write fast, 540 million. Most of you are good with this. And then I'm going to go on to my next section. I'm going to read these 3 digits right here. That this digit is 239. So I'm going to say 239,000. 239,000. And now I'm going to look at my next digits, my 3 digits. I have the number 10. We don't say and 10 because and means for a decimal, so we just say 10. So it's 7,540,239,010. Okay. For number 2, how did we get, it says fill in the blank with a missing number. So how did they get from here to here? Well, I can see that 56 and 56 are right here. So 56 divided by what equals 56? Well, it would have to be 1. 56 divided by 1 is 56. So now I have to figure out how many zeros do I need to add on to that. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 zeros here. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros here because 560,000 divided by 10,000 equals 56. And here's why. When we're dividing, remember how we said we can cross off a 0, 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 and then you're just down to 56 divided by 1 is 56. Number 3, it says find the value of 5 divided by 5. So I'm going to divide it by 40. So I'm going to show you how it would look like this. Okay. So to do that, we're going to write 40 over 1. Now remember, when we're dividing, we really take the reciprocal, we flip this, and then multiply. So it's really 5 over 5 times, remember we multiply and then flip it, 1 over 40. Okay, I see where I can cross reduce here. There's a trick. So they both divide by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 40 divided by 5 is 8. Now I can multiply across. 1 times 1 is 1. 5 times 8 is 40. Another way you could look at it is 5 over 5 is the same as 1 whole, right? And 1 divided by 40 can be written as 1 divided by 40. So this was just the longer way of getting it, and this was a shorter way. So it's just 1/40. Circle my answers. This one. Okay. It says, what is the length of side A? So we want to figure out what is the length from here to here. I just want to make sure I'm recording really quick here. Am I recording? I don't know. I think I am. Okay, I am recording. Just want to make sure. So I don't do this whole test and find out I didn't record. That would be a bummer. So now I have to figure out what this side A is. Well, I can see from here to here, it is 20. So if from here to here is 20, that means from here to here is 20. So from here to here is 20. So it says from here to here is 9. From here to here is 20. Well, I know that from here to here is 20. So 9 plus whatever this is has to equal 20. So 9 plus what is 20? Well, 9 plus 11 is 20. So if this is 11, then that means this is 11, this is 11, this is 11. So side A is 11 centimeters. And it's not squared because it's just the length. Number 5, it says how many sides does a triangular prism have? Well, a prism has similar sides, so a triangular prism would look like this. How many sides does it have? Well, it has 1 on bottom, 1 on this side, 1 on that side, so that's 3. And then this front is 4 and the back is 5. So it has 5 sides. Now, if it was a triangular pyramid, no, a rectangular pyramid, sorry. If it was a rectangular pyramid, it'd be a rectangle like this. And then the pyramid would come down like this. So how many sides would a rectangular pyramid have? Well, there's 1 on bottom. There's 1 right here, that's 2. 1 right here, that's 3. 1 right here, that's 4. And then the whole 1 in the back, that's 5. So it has 5 as well. Number 6 says find the product of 5,842 and 96. Product means multiply. So I'm going to write 5,842 times 96. I'm first going to start off with my 6. And I'm going to go 6 times 2 is 12. I put my 2, carry the 1. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 is 25. Put my 5, carry the 2. 6 times 8 is 48, plus 2, 48, 49, 50. So put your 0, carry the 5. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 5 is 35. Now this is where a lot of kids make a mistake because they have to put your placeholder so that you're starting off in the 10 spot right here. So put a placeholder right there. If you want to put a 0, an X, or put something there to make sure that this place is filled in because we're working in the 10s. So start off right here. So now I go 9 times 2 is 18. I put my 8, carry the 1. 9 times 4 is 36, plus 1 is 37. Carry the 3. 9 times 8 is 72, plus 3, so go 72, 73, 74, 75. Put my 5, carry the 7. 9 times 5 is 45, plus 7. Well, 45 plus 5, if I broke this up into 5 and 2, friendly numbers, so 9 times 5 is 45, plus another 5 would bring me to 50, plus another 2 would bring me to 52. Now I can add them together. What am I doing? I'm multiplying all of a sudden. 13, carry the 1. 8, 10, carry the 1. 6, 5. So I get 560,832. Right, next. It says fill in the blank with either greater than, less than, or equal to. So this is 4 over 6 times 1 over 3. And this is 6 over 4 times 3 over 1. So let's figure out what both of these equal. I don't see any tricks here where I can cross reduce, so I'm just going to multiply across. 1 times 4 is 4. 3 times 6 is 18. So this is 4/18, which really, they both can divide by 2, is 2/9. I don't see any tricks where I can cross reduce here, so I'm just going to multiply across. 6 times 3 is 18. 4 times 1 is 4. This is an improper fraction. So to change it to a mixed number, how many 4s can I pull out at 18? Well, I can pull out 4. That's 16. And then I have 2 left, so it's 4 2/4, which is really 4 1/2, so clearly the side is bigger. So then I would put the greater than sign that way. The next one, I have 1/4 times 2/3, and then I have 1/4 divided by 2/3. Let's first do this side. I see a trick where I can cross reduce. They both divide by 2, so I have 1 and 2. So this side equals, now I multiply, 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 2 is 6. So this side equals 1/6. Now this side has a division. So remember, we have to get the reciprocal and multiply. So I really have 1/4 times 3 over 2. I don't see any tricks where I can cross reduce, so just multiply across. 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 2 is 8. So this side equals 3/8. So which is bigger, 1/6 or 3/8? Well, 3/8 is close to 4/8, which is half. And this is 1 out of 6. So this one would have to be the bigger one. All right. Number 8. It says express 4 4/6 years in months. Well, 4 years is how many months? Well, if 1 year, what did I just say? 4 years is how many months? So if 1 year is 12 months, then 4 years would be 4 times 12. which is 48. So we know that this right here equals 48 months. Because every year is 12 months, and so you have 12 months plus 12 months plus 12 months plus 12 months. So that's 48. Now we have to figure out what's 4/6 of a year. 4/6 of a year. Well, how many months in a year? There's 12. So this is really 4/6 of 12. And I'm going to put that over 1. I can see there, I can cross reduce here. So they both divide by 6. 1 and 2. Now I can multiply across, because of means times. 4 times 2 is 8. 1 times 1 is 1. So this right here is equal to 8 months. It equals 8. Add these two together, so 48 plus 8, and we get 56. This is 56 months. All right, number 8b, I guess. It says 3 3/4 feet in inches. Well, there's 12 inches in 1 foot. So if I have 3 feet, that's going to be 12 plus 12 plus 12. So 3 times 12 is 36. So this right here equals 36 inches. Now I need to know what's 3/4 of a foot. What is 3/4 of a foot? Well, how many inches are in a foot? 12. 3/4 of a foot. I see there of means times. I can cross reduce here. They both divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Now I can multiply across. 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 1 is 1. So this 3/4 equals 9 inches. And the 3 equals 36. Add those two together. So 36 plus 9. And we would get 45 inches. And then the last one here, we have 1 2/5 meters in centimeters. Centimeters is 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So this 1 meter is how many centimeters? Well, I just said there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So this is 100 centimeters. Now I have to figure out what's 2/5 of a meter, which is 100 centimeters, because we're converting it to centimeters. Of means times. I see there is a trick where I can cross reduce. They both divide by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 100 divided by 5 is 20. Now I can multiply across. 2 times 20 is 40. So 2/5 equals 40 centimeters, and I just add them together. So it's 140 centimeters. Oops. All right. 140 centimeters. And that's for that. I'm going to stop right there and I'll come back in a second. All right, so now we're going to go on to number 9, the story problems. It says Frankie spent 2/6 of his money at the arcade and 1/4 of his money at the movies. What fraction of his money did he have left? Well, we know that he spent 2/6 of his money, and he also spent 1/4 of his money. This is how much he spent all together, and we have to figure out how much he has left. So let's figure out how much he spent all together. And all together means we're going to add. So we're going to add 2/6 plus 1/4 to figure out how much he spent all together. So we have to come up with a common denominator for 6 and 4. Let's start with the multiples of 6. 4 can't go into 6. All right, the next one multiple would be 12. Can 4 go into 12? Yes. So they both can switch over to 12. Now we're going to ask ourselves, how do we get from 6 to 12? Well, we multiplied by 2. So you're going to do the same thing right here, multiply by 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. How do we get from 4 to 12? We multiplied by 3. 4 times 3, so you have to do the same thing here, times 3. So 1 times 3 is 3. Now we can add together. 4 plus 3 is 7, and then our denominator stays the same. So he spent 7/12. The question is, how much did he have left? Well, the total would have to be 12/12. It's always the whole. Whatever the denominator is, you put it on top, that's the whole. So we know this is what he had at first, the whole. He spent, so we're going to take away 7/12. And that's how we find out how much he has left. So we know the denominator is 12 because the denominator is 12. And now 12 take away 7. So he has 5/12 left. All right? Number 10. The perimeter of a floor rug is 30 feet. Now, this one is perimeter of a floor rug. So you have to think that's going around. Perimeter is always like if you were to walk around this rug, it's going to equal 30 feet. If I was to start here, walk around, it's 30 feet. It says if its length is 6 feet, so if its length is 6, here's the length, find the area. Well, area is base times height or length times width. I know the length is 6, but I have to figure out what the width is. So how would I do that? I know the perimeter is 30. If I was to walk around, it's 30. So if this is 6, then this is 6 because it's a rectangular rug. Now I have to figure out what this side is right here, these sides, so that I can go length times width. Now I know that this plus this plus this plus this has to equal 30. So if I add these together, 12, I'm going to take 30, take away these two, and then whatever is left over will be these two. So 30 take away 12, I'm going to go 30 minus 12. And maybe you can do it in your head, but you might have to carry. Okay, 18. So 18 equals these two spots right here. But I just need to know one of the spots. So what's 18 divided by 2? Well, that's 9. So both of these are 9. Because 9 plus 6 plus 9 plus 6 equals 30, walking around. But they want to know the area. So now that I know the width, because they gave me the length, I can go length times width, so 6 times 9. So the area, this inside rug, the whole area of the rug, and we're dealing with feet, it's 54 feet. And remember, area is squared because it's that square area that we've talked about. Number 11. Now, so I switched the way we did this. Cross off this part right here. All right. A soccer field measured 75 by 100. Susan walked around it 4 times. How many meters did she walk? So let's draw the soccer field. It says it measured 75 by 100. She walked around it 4 times. Well, let's figure out what's just one time. If she walked around 1 time, how many meters is that? Well, from here to here, 75. So from here to here is 75. If this is 100, then this is 100, right? Okay, so she's going to walk around. Here's 100. She's going to come here. That's another 75. She's going to walk up here. That's another 100. She's going to walk here. That's another 75. So we have to figure out how much just one time around is. Well, 100 plus 100 is 200. And then 70, I always think money. So 75 cents plus 75 cents, that would be $1.50, right? So what's 150? So add those together. So if she walks around just one time, you're adding all this up, she would be 350 meters. The perimeter is 350. But she didn't walk around just one time. She walked around 4 times. So one time is 350 meters, but she walks around 4 times. How many meters did she walk? So we would have to go 350 times 4, because she did it 4 times. So 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 5 is 20, so I put the 0, carry the 2. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2, so 12, 13, 14, so it's 14. Put our comma, third one over, and then it's meters squared. Oh wait, no, it's not squared, it's perimeter. Perimeter is walking around, so we're not doing the inside, we're doing the around, so it's just meters. So she walked 1,400 meters. Okay, number 12. There were 3,417 books at the store. They were divided into boxes of 45 books each. How many boxes, this should say like were needed, not were there, were needed. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is divide 45 into 3,417. This is a very difficult concept for many of us. So what I'm going to do is, I taught you, look at just this first number, because I don't know how many times, 45 doesn't go into 34. Okay, so how many times does 45 go into 341? I have no idea. So I'm going to look at this first digit here, 4, and right here, 34. So how many times does 4 go into 34? Well, 4 goes into 34 8 times, that's 32. But I have the feeling 8 is going to be too much because I have 45. It's not 40, it's 45. I could try 8, but I think it's going to be too much. So I'm going to try 7. So 45, let me erase this so it's clearer. So 45 into 314, I'm going to try 7 times. I'm not putting it into 3, I'm not putting it in 34, I'm putting it into 341. So my 7 will go right here. So 7 times 5 is 35, so I put the 5, carry the 3. 7 times 4 is 28, 29, 30, 31. Right now I can subtract. And I have to borrow. This becomes a 3, that's an 11. 11 take away 5 is 6. 3 take away 1 is 2. And that's nothing. Now check, is 26 less than 45? Yes. If we had done 8, we would have had a way bigger number than 45. So some of you might do 8 at first, and then you're going to realize, this is too big. I could have pulled out another one, and that's why you have to erase it and try it again. So if it's more than 5, if this number is more than 5, usually it's going to be 1 less. Okay, now I'm going to bring down my 7. And remember our acronym is DOES, McDonald's, sell, cheese, burgers. We divide, multiply, subtract, check, bring down. So we just did all those steps. Now we're going to start over. So now I'm dividing again. 45 into 267. I have no idea how much that is. So I'm just going to look at the 4 and the 26. So 4 can go into 26. 4 times 6 is 24. That's close. But I have a 5 here. So I wonder, because it's almost close, this could bump it up to 50. So I wonder if 6 would be too much. I'm going to try 5 and see what happens. I'll try 5. So 5 times 5 is 25. I put the 5, carry the 2. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 is 22. Is it going to be too much? 7 take away 5 is 2. 6 take away 2 is, I just made it. So it's 42. And there's nothing more to bring down. So this is my remainder. I have 42 books left over. These books are going to have to go into another box because I can't just leave them there. So these books are going to go into another box. So I have 75 boxes, because I divided them up into 75 boxes, but I need another box for these right here. So I really have one more box, so it's 76 boxes that are needed. And then it says how many books were left over, what was the remainder? There was 42 books that was the remainder. I guess I worded that funny, didn't I? How many books were, I'll say the remainder. Okay. All right, next. It says, which figure has the greatest shaded area? So I'm just going to go through and count each of these. So these two together would equal 1. I don't have my pencils that I like. Okay, so 1. These two would be 2. This is a whole 3, 4. These two would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. These two could be 14, 15, 16. So this equals 16 units squared. Let's count this one. I'm going to start down here because it's whole down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then a half. So this one is 17 and a half units squared. Okay, now let's do this one. I'm going to do all the wholes first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. These two would be 20. And then these two would be 21. So this one's 21. So it says, which figure has the greatest area? It would have to be figure C. And then it says, what is the shaded area? It's 21 units squared. All right, number 14. So this one I can't find the area of this weird shape. So instead, I'm going to find the area of this big rectangle and then subtract this white triangle and subtract this white triangle so that I have only this left. I'm going to switch to a pen so that I can write better. Okay, so let's first find the area of the big rectangle. So remember, area is base times height for a rectangle or parallelogram. So the base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How high up does it go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 by 6. So the big rectangle is 36 units. Now that's this whole big thing, but we don't want this part and this part, so let's just subtract them out. So let's first find this triangle. Now remember, a triangle, it's base times height times half. And we found the trick that we could just cut instead of multiplying this whole thing, cutting it in half, just cut one of these in half and multiply. So you'll see what I mean. So the base is 1, 2, and the height is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I could go 6 times 2 is 12. 12 divided by, or 12 cut in half is 6. But when you're working with big numbers, that gets difficult. So we learned that we can just cut one of these numbers in half. We always do the bigger one. So what's 6 cut in half? It's 3. Now just multiply 3 times 2. So this equals 6. All right, now let's do this side. The base is 1. We know the height is 6. So cut one of these in half. I can't cut that in half, so let's cut this one in half, which is 3. So 1 times 3, so this is 3. So now this and this we want to subtract out of the figure so that we only have this left. So 6 plus 3 is 9, so the two triangles equal 9. So let's subtract them out. Okay, 36 minus 9. And if you have to borrow, go ahead and do that. And we get 27. So it would be 27 units squared because it's not labeled. All right. Next one. It says find the area of the shaded triangle. For this one, what I recommend, you could do it just like this one. You could find the whole entire big rectangle and then subtract these triangles right here. Sorry. You could find the big rectangle, subtract the triangles. But this one I can easily cut this in half right here and have a solid base right here for both of them. And then I have a triangle here, and I have a triangle here, and then I can just add them together. So let's first do this triangle right here. So the base is 1, 2, 3, 4. The base is 4. How high up does it go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It goes up 5. So remember, when we're doing triangles, we have to cut one of them in half, because otherwise you're getting a parallelogram. So I'm going to cut the 4 in half. So 5 times 2 is 10. So this triangle right here is 10. Now let's do this one. The base is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How high up does it go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It goes up 5. Remember, we're going to cut 1 in half because it's a triangle. So 5 times 2. This one just happens to be 10 as well. So we can add the two together. 10 plus 10. So this whole shaded figure is 20 units squared. Okay. Number 16. Find the area of the triangle. We need to figure out what this base is right here. We don't know. But I do see that from here to here it's 50. So from here to here it's 50. And from here to here it's 35. Can I figure out what this is right here? Yeah, because 50 take away 35. This would have to be 15 because 15 plus 35 is 50. So I now have a base and I now have a height. How high up does it go? 20. If it's 20 here, then it's 20 here. And this is why I think it's easy to cut. Instead of going 20 times 15 and then dividing that by 2, it's easier just to cut one of them in half and then multiply. I can't cut 15 in half, so let's cut 20 in half and get 10. Now it's 10 times 15. It's 150 centimeters. Now it's squared because it's area. All right, area of a parallelogram. Again, a parallelogram is the same as a rectangle. It's just base times height. So the base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now how high up does it go? It goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't cut it in half, because if we cut it in half, we'd be only getting like that. That's why we always cut triangles in half, because otherwise we'd be getting a full parallelogram. So I just go 9 times 5, and it's 45 units squared because it's area. All right, number 18. This is what they're going to do. They're going to give you extra information to see if they can trick you. But we know area of a triangle is base times height times half. So you've got to look for the base and find the height and ignore everything else. So I can see the bottom of the triangle is right here. So the base is 14. Now how high up does this triangle go? It is 5. So we're looking at these two numbers. This is extra information. This is extra information. Okay. Instead of going 5 times 14, dividing it by 2, let's just cut one of these in half right off the bat. So what's 14 cut in half? It is 7. Now I can multiply 5 times 7, and it would be 35. And there's no units, so just put units squared. And remember, you can always find the height, because there'll be, it'll make a right angle right here, 90-degree angle. Okay, next one. So we're looking for the base and the height only. This is not the base. You're looking for the ground of the triangle. The triangle ground is from here to here only. Okay, this part is like invisible. So the base is 10. Now how high up does it go? If I took a rope and dropped it, it would be 6 feet. Now remember, it's base times height times half. You could go 6 times 10 is 60, divided by 2 is 30, or just cut one of them in half and then multiply. It's kind of easier. What's 5 times 6? It's 30. So it's 30 feet squared. This was the extra information. All right, here's where it gets a little bit more difficult. They only want to find the shaded area. They don't want this part right here. Maybe this is a kitchen, and this is where like the stove, and or maybe it's an island, like where you sit for a counter. And so they need to know how much tile goes all around here. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the big rectangle and then subtract this white, and then we'll have all the shaded part left. So we'll take the big rectangle and we're going to subtract the white, and what's left will be the shaded. Okay, let's first do the big rectangle. We know that rectangle is base times height. Well, the base from here to here would have to be 8 because it's here to here. So the base is 8. Base times height, the height is 9. So the big rectangle is 72. Now let's subtract this inside white. I'm going to draw a line. I could draw it here or here. It doesn't matter. I'm going to draw it right here. So from here to here, it's 4. If from here to here is 2, that means from here to here is 2. And that means this would have to be 2 as well, because together they have to equal 4. Okay, now I can find the base of this little white one is 4. The height is 2, so 4 times 2. So this white equals 8. 4 times 2 is 8. Now let's find this one right here. If the base from here to here is 2, that means from here to here is 2, and the height is 2. This one's 2 times 2, base times height. So this one is 4. Add these two together. What's 4 plus 8? That's 12. So these two together equal 12. We need to subtract this from this whole big box. That's the white. So that we only have, we're taking all this out so that we only have the shaded part left. So the white equaled 12. So we're going to subtract 12. And we get 60, and it was centimeters. So it's centimeters squared. That's the shaded area. Okay, a few more. So let's find the shaded area of the rectangle. They only want this part right here. They don't want this. I don't know how to find the area of this weird shape, but I do know the area. I can find the area of this big rectangle, and I could subtract this little white triangle. So again, we're going to find the big rectangle. We're going to subtract the triangle, and what's left, we'll have the shaded. Okay, so let's first find, and change this to 5 centimeters only. Okay, so we have, if from here to here is 9, that means from here to here is 9, right? The base is 9. How high up does it go? 4. So the base of the rectangle is 9 times 4 because it's base times height. So it's 9 times 4. So that would be 36. So this whole thing is 36. But we only want this part. So we have to subtract this right here. Well, let's figure out what's the base and what's the height. Well, the height would be, if it's from 4 here, then the height has to be 4 over here. But now we need to figure out what's this base. Well, if from here to here is 9, that means down here it's 9 as well. But if this is 5, from here to here it's 5, this would have to be 4 because 4 plus 5 is 9 for the total. Okay, so we now have the base is 4. Remember, triangle is base times height times half. You could go 4 times 4 is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Or do the trick that we learned, cut one of them in half. And then 4 times 2 is 8. So we're going to subtract this out so that we only have that left. So we know the triangle was base times height times half. I'm just showing my work here. So we did 4 times half, and that equaled 8. So now we're going to subtract them. 36 minus 8, and if you have to borrow, go for it. So it's 28 centimeters squared. Oh, did you one right? Yeah, okay. Next one, same concept as up here. I have this, I don't know how to find this like weird looking shaded shape right there, but I can see that I have 2 triangles here. So if I find the big triangle and then subtract this white triangle right here, all that's left will be the shaded part. So we're going to take the big triangle and we're going to subtract the small triangle so that we just have the shaded part left. Okay, let's first do the big triangle. So from here to here is 5 and from here to here is 8. So altogether, the height of this big triangle would have to be 8 plus 5, which is 13. The height of this big triangle is 13. The base is 12 for this big triangle right here. The height is 13. The base is 12. I don't want to go 12 times 13 divided by 2. So instead, I'm going to cut 12 in half because 13 can't cut in half, and make it 6. Now I can easily do the big triangle. 13 times 6. 6 times 3 is 18. Put the 8, carry the 1. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So the big triangle is 76. That's this whole big thing right here, 76. But we need to subtract this white part out so that we only have this left. So let's figure out what this white part is right here. Okay, so we know the base is 12 because it said 12 here. Now the height, it says, because see how it's going across, the height is 8. So that means this triangle, this little triangle is 8 and the base is 12. Okay, so remember, we're going to go 8 times 12, cut it in half. So let's cut the 12 in half and get 6. So the little triangle is 6 times 8. So that's 48. And now we're going to subtract it out. We're going to cut it out. So subtract 78 minus 48. So what's left is 30. This is 30 right here. All this gray part right here is 30. It's 30 centimeters squared. Okay. I need to take a break for a second. Catch my breath. Okay, moving on to number 22. It says find the area of this figure. It looks like a tent. I don't know how to find the area of this trapezoid, but I do see that there is a parallelogram right here, and there is a triangle right there. So let's just find them both and add them together. So first, let's just work on this parallelogram. Okay, so the base of this parallelogram is all right here. So what is it from here to here? Well, it's a parallelogram, so if this is 16 from here to here, then the base right here is 16. Now, how high up is this parallelogram? How high is it? Well, let's look right here. If this is 4 meters, then this is 4 meters from here to here. So this parallelogram, it's base times height for a parallelogram. So we're going to go 16 times 4. You get 64. So this parallelogram from here to here is 64. That wasn't too bad. Just base times height. Now let's find this triangle. Well, we can see that the height of the triangle is 4, but we don't know what the base is from here to here. Well, I can see that they told me from here to here is 26. Let me draw it here. So from here to here, it's 26. If from here to here is 16, this would have to be together. These have to equal 26. This would have to be 10. So we know the base is 10. Remember, it's a triangle, so cut 1 in half. So it's 4 times 5. So this triangle is 20. Now I can add the two together. 64 plus 20, it's 84 meters squared. Okay, so this one, it says the length of a rectangular box, 8 inches. The length of a rectangular box, 8 inches, its width is 7, and its height is 12. Find that surface area. Now, I'll have this drawn out for you on the test. So I'll have a box drawn out for you. Let me just draw it for you really quick. Okay, so here it says it's 8, its width is 7, and its height is 12. So I don't really have it like to scale, but that's okay. So remember, when we're doing surface area, we go top, bottom, front, back, side, side, and then we add them all together. So let's figure out what these are. Let's first do the top and bottom. Oh, what just happened? Yeah, I don't know what just happened there, so I'm just going to keep going. Okay, so let's find the top. So the top would be this whole top right here. So that would be base times height. Base times height. So if the base is 8 from here to here, the base from here to here is 8. Now, how high up does this box go? It goes all the way up to 7. This is 7 from here, then this is 7. So this top box right here would be 8 times 7, so that's 56. Now, if the top is 56, then the bottom would have to be 56 as well. Okay, now let's do the front. This front side right here, it's 8 by 12. The base is 8, the height is 12. So this whole front right here would be 8 times 12, which is 96. Well, if this front is 96, then the back is 96. So we have front and back are 96. Now let's do this side, and whatever this side is, this side would be. So we said that the height was 12. Can't really see that, so I'll write it right here. The height is 12. The base is 7, so it's 7 by 12. So what's 7 times 12? So this side is 84. That means this side is 84. So they're both 84. And now all I have to do is add them together. So 56 plus 56, you would have 112. 96 plus 96, 6 plus 6 is 2. 18, 19, 192. Here you would have 8. Okay, now we can add it all together. And 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. 9 plus 1, 10, 16, 17. So you should get 472, and it would be inches squared. The solid, this will be extra credit. It says the solid is made up of 5 centimeter cubes. So that means from here to here is 5. All the surfaces of the solid are painted. Okay, so all these are painted. How many cubes have only one face painted? So see how this little cube here has it's painted here, and it's painted on the side. This one it's painted here, and it's painted here, so that's 2. This is painted here, here, and here, so that's 3. So the only one on this top row that has one side painted would be this right here. So the top of it is painted. So this one is 1. On this middle row of cubes, this has 2 painted, this has 2 painted, so you'd have 1 in the middle for each side. So this side has 4, where only 1 thing is painted. And then you're at the bottom now, where it's just like the top, only the middle cube would be 1 painted. So this, and again, this is extra credit. So you'd have 1 plus 4 plus 1, so that's 6 are painted, just 1 surface. Now it says how many have 2 faces painted. 2 faces, well, this one would have 3, so that's not it. This one has 2. See how it's right there and right there. This has 2. That one would have 2, and this one would have 2. So this layer has 4. Then this one has 1, so that doesn't count. This one would have 2. That one would have 2. The back one would have 2, and this one would have 2. So this one has 4 as well. And then the bottom would be the same as the top. So how many have 2? Well, 4 plus 4 plus 4. There are 12 of them. This one is just hard to visualize. That's why it's extra credit. Okay, now it says, what is the surface area of all of the painted cubes? Well, if all of these are 5, 5, 5, that means, because it says 5 here, the length of this is 5 times 5 times, or 5 is 15. That means it would be 15 here. It's 15 all around, right? So basically, you're going, how did I do that? Here's my work. I did 15 times 15. Oh, I see what I did. I did 15 times 15. So I got this area right here. 15 times 15 is 75. And then, oh, no, 15 times 15 is 225. Okay, so this is 225 right here. That means this is 225 right here, because 15 times 15 is 225. Now there's 6 of these sides. So then you have to go 225, because each of these is 225. 225, 225, 225. There's 6 sides. So 225 times 6, it would be 1,350. Again, this is all extra credit. Okay, I hope that helps. Good luck.